right? They don't miss with early picks. Each of their last 9 picks they've made in the first 2 rounds, dating back to second-round pick Jalen Hurts in 2020, they all started in Super Bowl 59. I mean, that's just remarkable. Eagles GM Howie Roseman spoke Tuesday about Philly's approach into this year's draft.
Where we are right now, we have a lot of good players that have earned their paychecks. We have others coming up through that will be in position to earn paychecks. And so we want to get as many young, talented players on this roster as we can to add competition, which is one of Coach's core values, and also because of the financial situation that we're going to have going forward in our effort to try to win another championship for the city.
DJ, the Eagles picking at 32, of course. What should they be looking to do at that spot in the draft?
Well, you put your feet up on the desk and you wait for an unbelievably great player to just fall in your lap, because that's the way the draft works every year. Those are the rules, Laura. I don't make them, but that's just the way that it goes down. So they can be patient. They lost some key pieces in free agency, so they could go in a couple different spots. Now, I look at a guy, like Tyler Booker, if he were to fall down because he didn't have a great workout, is that someone who could be in range for them? Obviously, they're going to have all the information coming out of that program. They love players out of Georgia. They love players out of Alabama. So that's one option from the Crimson Tide. And then Jihad Campbell, who I think is one of the top 15 players in the draft, but he's not entering into this part of the process healthy. And maybe he slides a little bit. But never in a million years did I wake up thinking that Nolan Smith would fall into their lap, yet he did. I never would have thought they could have got Cooper DeJean in the second round, yet they did. So they can just sit back, be patient, and let the draft fall to them.
Yeah, I mean, that is the benefit of being where they are. And really, they have a comfort level sitting where they're sitting in regards to feeling as though they can identify the type of people that they want down there. And you're right, DJ. I mean, usually every year someone falls down there that you're sitting there scratching your head going, how did this happen? My bet would be, look, they continue to build on the kind of things that they have always hung their hat on, which is namely offensive and defensive line play, maximum pass rush pressure, and obviously trying to dominate the line of scrimmage on the offensive side of the ball. You figure, you wonder, will James Pierce last that long? Will James Pierce and some of the issues that are surrounding him cause him to drop down there to the bottom of the first round? Which for me, I mean, that would be like a Nolan Smith head scratcher type of scenario. This guy to me is like a mini Javon Curse. And I'm telling you, you see him in Eagle Green, you're going to be sitting there going, how the hell did this happen again? Donovan Ezeraku from Boston College, who I got to see live multiple times and talk to multiple times. Think about Donovan Ezeraku in this Eagles defense playing on, again, those are the kind of things that are going to wind up happening for Philadelphia when they're on the clock. And you're going to sit there going, this doesn't quite seem fair that this happens all the time.
Well, first of all, listen, one thing history has taught me is to never trust that Howie Roseman is patient, okay? And they very well may be at this 32nd pick. But if there's a player they absolutely want, I would not be surprised if he tried to maneuver and make some moves in this draft. But ultimately, you guys have hit the nail on the head. If Jihad Campbell is there, it's a no-brainer for me. Multiple positions. He dropped in coverage. He comes off the edge. A middle linebacker guy that you could pair with Nakobe Dean. I know they just extended Zach Bond as well in Philly. But this feels like a Vic Fangio guy to me. But also that defensive tackle spot. You lose Milton Williams in free agency to the New England Patriots. And we know, like you mentioned, Lewis, that they like to have multiple waves of pass rushers. They like to mix and match guys. Jordan Davis can give you some rush and push of the pocket. We already know what Jalen Carter is probably going to ascend to. Could arguably be the number one guy in the league this year when it's all said and done from the D tackle spot. I think this is a bolster your roster with depth move. Obviously, they had a lot of things transpire this offseason, wasn't able to keep everybody. But Howie has figured out a way to either maneuver in the draft to get that specific player they want, or like both of you guys said, sit at 32 and they get another player to piss me off that's going to be hell against Dallas.
I was waiting for it. You were being so professional there, Swagoo, and then it just came out in the end. I like it.
Welcome back to Eagles Nest News, your go-to source for everything Philadelphia Eagles, where the green runs deep and every move echoes across the nest. If you bleed midnight green and live for the thrill of game day, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about stories of this offseason. Yes, we're talking about the rumors swirling around a possible trade involving none other than tight end Dallas Goedert, a fan favorite and a cornerstone of this franchise in recent years. With just days to go before the 2025 NFL Draft, emotions are running high and speculation is hotter than ever. Could we really see another familiar face leave the roster before the season even begins? Stick around, because we're unpacking the latest updates, expert analysis, and what it could all mean for the future of the Eagles. All right, Eagles fans, let's get into the meat of the matter. As of right now, reports from around the league, most, notably from NFL Network's Mike Garafolo, suggest that while there have indeed been rumblings about a trade involving Goedert, there is currently nothing imminent. Garafolo broke it down like this. Veteran tight ends coming to the back end of their deals are valuable to the team they're currently on, but those teams are going to listen. Howie Roseman today in Philadelphia basically said the same thing when asked about Dallas Goedert, which is that we have to make separate decisions, we have draft decisions to make, and we have decisions regarding the roster. Sometimes those are tough decisions. Now, what does that tell us? It tells us that the Eagles front office, especially Howie Roseman, who's never afraid to shake things up, is keeping all options on the table. And let's be honest, we've seen this movie before. Big moves, bold choices, surprise trades that leave fans stunned, and sometimes ecstatic. Still, even though Goedert has reportedly been available since the start of the league year, no trade has gone through, not yet at least. So why all the noise now? Simple. The 2025 NFL Draft is just around the corner. It all kicks off on April 24th, and the Eagles currently hold the number 32 overall pick. That's a valuable slot, especially for a team looking to reload without hitting the reset button. There are whispers that Philly is looking for a fourth-round pick in exchange for Goedert this offseason. But they're also open to future picks, if a deal can't be struck this year. That level of flexibility tells us something important. This isn't a fire sale. The Eagles aren't desperate. This is all about strategic planning, timing, and maximizing value. Now, let's zoom out for a second. Trading a veteran like Goedert is no small thing. He's been a consistent performer. He's shown leadership, and he's earned the respect of fans, coaches, and teammates alike. But, as we all know, the NFL is a business. And sometimes, moving a veteran is exactly what makes room for the next chapter. Maybe it's about cap space. Maybe it's about giving younger players like Grant Calcaterra or a new draft pick more opportunities to step up. Still, we know how passionate this fan base is. Goedert isn't just a stat line. He's part of the identity of this team. If he were to be traded, it would mark another bold move in a long line of decisions aimed at keeping the Eagles competitive at the highest level. So, where does that leave us? Here's the bottom line. No trade is imminent, but the Eagles are absolutely listening. And as we inch closer to the draft, don't be surprised if something shifts. Teams are going to evaluate their needs. Injuries will happen, offers will be made, and if the right deal lands on Howie Roseman's desk, you better believe he'll pull the trigger. But no matter what happens, whether Goedert stays or goes, this franchise is committed to building a team that can win now and for seasons to come. That's the Warriors' mindset. That's the Eagles' way. Now it's your turn, Eagles Nation. Let us know in the comments, should the Eagles trade Dallas Goedert if it means getting a solid draft pick or building for the future? Or is he too valuable to let go? Do you think a younger tight end could step up if Goedert is moved? Would it be a mistake to break up this core right before the new season? We're reading every comment, and we want to hear your voice. This channel is built by fans for fans, so drop your take below. Like the video if you love that Eagles fight, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a beat from the nest. Until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and as always, fly Eagles fly. Ticketsay is Eagles Nest News, signing off.